bobsled we call it old St. Nick. But rock the buggy with a 4-speed stick. She's candy apple red with ski for a wheel. Sandy gets the gas man, just watch her feel. Yeah, little St. Nick. Little St. Nick. It's little St. Nick. Little St. Nick. Run, run, reindeer. 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 He's falling through the snow at a frightening speed with a half a dozen deer with a Rudy to lead. He's gotta wear his goggles cause the snow really flies, and he's cruising every pad with a little surprise. It's the little Saint Nick. It's the little Saint Nick. Merry Christmas, Saint Nick.
Dang. I hate that I have to do this, but scammers are everywhere. Don't fall for it. I will not be asking for any money whatsoever. So, details of how to win this saw are in the rest of the video. But remember, I will not be asking you for any money. So anyone that does ask you for money for winning this saw is a scammer trying to get money from you. Get bent, scammers. All right, ladies and gents, here I am finally with this year's Christmas giveaway saw. This is a saw that was sponsored by, you guessed it, the Dukes. They supplied all the parts that I needed to build this, and it was a lot. So what we have, I really wanted to do a video on how to dye the plastics. And well, with these Stihl clamshells, the plastic case is white. And whenever the plastic is white, that means if it is dyeable, which most are, Sometimes they have too much fiber reinforcement and it doesn't really take very well. But if the plastic's dyeable, it being white means you can then dye it to anything you want. You could dye it yellow, you could dye it orange, you could dye it red, you could dye it Kentucky sky blue. So I was like, I really wanted to do that and make a really fun, unique, one-of-a-kind saw that I could give away. But now I originally built this for the Cheap Saw Challenge at SawFest this year, 2025, and I just couldn't get it finished. I did not have the easiest time in building this, not because of anything weird. Well, I guess it is kind of weird. These saws are really hard to work on. And, you know, once I broke it down 3 or 4 times, it wasn't too big of a deal. But it really made me sour, and I just didn't want to touch it. You see what I'm saying? So, and I was running out of time, didn't want to do it, all this stuff. So, after SawFest, I finished it up, and then I thought, well, how am I going to do this? I said, well, I'll do a chainsaw giveaway for Christmas. I talked with Chris from the Dukes, and he's like, yep, sounds good to me. So here we are. We're doing the chainsaw giveaway. Keep watching. I'll tell you how you can get a chance to win this. It's not going to cost you a penny. So anyways, what the Dukes supplied me with was a piston and cylinder kit for an MS390. This started life as a 290, right? So they gave me a piston and cylinder kit. They gave me the crankcase. They gave me all the plastic parts you're seeing, right? There is one little plastic part inside there that they didn't send me. They sent me the bar and chain. They sent me the clutch cover. I was going to go ahead and polish this whole clutch cover, but my God, it was really difficult to get all that paint off. That paint that they got on there is good, but I figured let's do that right there, right? Now, the piston and cylinder, how I made it work. And so I just got back from running it out there. Boy, it was cold and snowy. I just got back from running it. And what do I think personally about its power? Damn skipping. It's really good now. It's got really good power. Would it have won at SawFest? Probably not. But after seeing those things run, as long as I had a good chain on it, I wouldn't doubt it if this thing would have been top 5 for sure. Like, yeah, I just ran it. It ran really good. It ran really good. So let's talk about what I did to get it as strong as it is. All right. So this saw has been in my Average Dude Mods video series. This is what I've been working with. It started out as a 290, which I think is 56 cc's, I think. It started out as that and with a 3/8 chain on it. And I progressed slowly over and over again with mods that the average person can do. And I chose, or I had 5 different cylinders to choose from. I had just a generic white box. I had the Warhawk. I had Highway. I had the Dukes. And then I had the original OEM, right? The Dukes numbers, right? The Duke cylinders, that's what's in here, right? It had a 65,000 squish, which is terrible, right? It is terrible. And it had, the intake was at 74.5. That's pretty good. That's definitely not bad. That's pretty good, right? The exhaust was at 95.6, which is terrible with low compression, you know? And then the transfers, which were 119, which is perfect considering all the other numbers. Anyway, so I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? What am I going to do? And so I just thought, I'm going to look for a different piston. And I found this piston on eBay, which this piston is a piston for a bicycle engine, an engine that is meant to go onto a bicycle frame and drive it around. The dimensions looked right. I was cheap enough. I rolled the dice and I purchased it. And I got it. I had to cut a lot of material off of the skirt, a lot of material off of the crown, but I was able to really fill up that big 65,000 squish with a nice domed piston. And now we've got good compression. And now that I have good compression, all those other numbers work out. So there is no porting done to this, just a custom cut piston to go in there. The one thing that I don't like is that the piston, the distance on either side of the rod is significant. Like you stick your pinky finger down in there, you know? And so what we're looking at is the side to side distance on the piston that's in there is far too big. Comes way out like that. And that means there's a gap. There's a gap on either side of the rod. Is this a big deal? Honestly, yes, it is. If you're wanting a saw to last and be a good work saw and last a long time, it probably won't, because you know that rod's going to want to move and hunt back and forth, which is going to cause instability, which is going to eventually cause to binding, right? And I don't like that. But I was building this to race, and then I came back and I was like, what am I going to do? Should I just throw the regular piston in there, or should I make this thing run the way that I wanted it to run at Sawfest? And I chose the latter, obviously. And I don't remember if I did a timing advance, but I feel certain that I did. I'm positive that I did. I just didn't film it or anything like that, because like I said, this thing really got on my nerves. But now that it's all over, yeah, that is a really strong, enjoyable saw to run. However, whenever I send this out, I will be sending all of the OEM parts with it. So you will have the original crankcase, you will have the original plastics, you will have the original piston and cylinder for the 029, right? That way, if something goes wrong, you can repair it, you know, but I'm going to leave it as it is, and, you know, hey, run it, see how long it lasts, and then report back whoever wins it. Now, to talk about how to win it. I've been back and forth on this. I thought about having it be a female-only competition. You had to be female to win it. The reason being, right, is not because it's girly, even though it kind of is, you know. But the reason being, I have this fantasy that someone will win this for someone else, right? And it'll be truly a gift for Christmas. But then I was like, nah, let everybody have a chance to win. However, I am going to also allow for secrecy. Okay? Ladies, listen up. And sons and daughters, fathers and mothers, everything that could be going on, listen up. Don't put in the comments, I want a chance to win. If you want a chance to win this saw, you need to send me an email to this email right here, bodiechainsaws@gmail.com. And in that email, you need to give me a name and address of who I will be shipping it to. And I am not telling anybody anything. And so that means like I don't know, mom. Let's say mom. Mom's name is Cynthia. Okay. Cynthia sends Bodie bodiechainsaws@gmail.com an email and says, send it to Cynthia, what's her name, at blah, 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 blah. We're going to stick to continental United States, guys. Yeah. I'm not shipping it to Alaska or to Singapore. So continental United States only. Cynthia in Kansas or whatever. And I'm going to send it to Cynthia. And then Cynthia is going to get it in the mail and be like, oh, nothing, it's just a Christmas present for Tommy or Susie or whatever. She can wrap it up and put it under the tree for whoever she wants to give it to. Or a father to a son. Maybe you're watching this. I've had a lot of people talk with me, and they say that they watch my channel with either their significant other, you know, husband, wife kind of thing, girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, and also father and son and father and daughter. We watch your channel together. So anyways, you get my point. I want this to be an actual gift to somebody. And if it's a gift to you, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I want to offer the option of keeping it secret so that you can gift it to someone else. Heck, you could even, you know, if your name's Frank and you want to send it to your buddy Darren down in Louisiana, Arkansas, right? You can send me Darren's address and we can send it right there and everything. So, yeah, you'll have to send me an email and a name and address of who you want me to send it to. Whenever I do the random picker, I will have all those names in there and I'll go, oh, it goes to Darren in Louisiana, right? And I'm just going to quietly ship it to Darren in Louisiana. I will probably go ahead and make a video, but I won't release that until like Christmas Day or something. So, but I didn't know how it was going to run. But after having just ran it, yeah, it's a strong saw, you know, strong saw. That chain wasn't cutting very good, you know. I mean, it needs some sharpening. It's all right. It's fine. But, you know, that spruce, it's clear, it's frozen solid. Now I know what you guys mean whenever you're like cutting solid frozen wood. It's quite a bit different. Yeah. But yeah, it's a little bit finicky. This kill switch right here was really difficult for me to do with gloves, you know, but fired up, ran great. Merry Christmas, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing who wins this and who it's going to get shipped out to. If you want to put in there, you know, who it's going to and what the, you know, maybe you're like, this is all for me, buddy. I want it myself. Or if you say, yeah, I'm Stephanie, and I'm hoping to win this for my husband, even though it's still going to be completely random. You know, I want to know that stuff, you know. So, but anyways, I hope you dug the video. Ho ho ho.